2020 has been so dark. Be sure to lit a candle. Be sure to light your lamp. I sure did. And it has given me tremendous guide. Metaphors. Metaphors may unconsciously shape the way we think and act, suggested by Lakoff and Johnson. They may shape the way we think, feel, and learn. The pandemic crisis has brought a profound impact, not only on people's health, but also on how they survive, live, work, and learn. In a study conducted online by T and others, entitled Psychological Impact of COVID-19 Pandemic in the Philippines, it revealed that during the early phase of the pandemic in the Philippines, 1/4 of respondents reported moderate to severe anxiety, and 1/6 reported moderate to severe depression and psychological impact. The factors identified can be used to devise effective psychological support strategies. How do we transcend all the adversities? How do we rise above any turbulence? How do we go beyond anxiety, fear, grief? It has been reported that the Philippines had one of the longest and strictest COVID-19 lockdowns in the world. Mobility was restricted, and mask wearing and social distancing were strictly enforced. Violations were met with punitive action. The government relied on the police and military to ensure order and adherence to health guidelines. But still, the Philippines is far from returning to normal. Suffering from a profound grief, I was knocked down by a pneumonia. I had to take a medical leave for 5 months. It was a tremendous, terrible shift. How do I help myself? How do I rise above my circumstance? I persisted to use critical thinking as a discipline that empowers me to think things through and make life-affirming decisions to transcend my adversity. The perils of the total lockdown have brought tremendous devastation. This devastation encompasses everything, not only our socio-economic and political life, but I was put into a state of emotional turmoil. How do I rise above the turbulence? How then can intellectual standards be utilized? Let me share with you my story. One day in January, one fine morning with my dad, we noticed a frequent visit of a bird in our pocket garden. I would say that wildlife would love our pocket garden after a year of lockdown, not tending our garden. Each morning, the couple of birds would take turns to do something really abstract. Then I figured they were weaving a nest. I have the rarest privilege to imagine, observe, and patiently watch the next thing to happen. From the process of building a nest as a home, as the mother bird gets ready to lay eggs. And in 2 weeks, the process took place. She laid the eggs, and the eggs were hatched. Then they feed and nurtured their nestlings. This for me is the best metaphor that I wish to embody. Build my refuge to protect me so I may have a haven, a quiet place in the midst of chaos. Then get ready to lay my eggs, and my eggs will be hatched into intellectual standards and virtues until they become nestlings. My nestlings are protected inside the refuge. I will feed and nurture my nestlings. I will patiently wait until the nestlings grow and become ready to fly and soar. This have become a self-help tool, making sense of the kind of bird and how they build their nest have given me a tremendous capacity to anchor my metaphor to accuracy, precision, and clarity. So I did a research. Utilizing a metaphor with critical thinking has been so powerful in going through the process of becoming. What is a metaphor? Metaphors are used in communication to help illustrate or explain something by comparing it to something else. Metaphors with critical thinking intellectual standards can serve several functions. We can help people visualize unfamiliar concepts with clarity and accuracy. We can explain unfamiliar situations meaningfully with depth. We could add variety and interest to a person's writing or conversations with relevance. We could create strong images with precision, accuracy, and relevance. Making sense of the selected metaphor sensitizes one on every single concept, information, inference, or assumption. Every single concept shall have clarity, accuracy, and precision. Each discovery from the metaphor supports an argument that imagination, persistence, and intellectual standards and virtues, clarity, accuracy, precision, depth, breadth, intellectual honesty, courage, are ways to rise above any adversity. Let me share another one I did in April 15. I made this one for the medical frontliners who always brave the COVID threat, day and night. The brave camel surviving the desert. When I imagined using camel braving the desert, I did not stop there. I had to obtain intellectual standards by achieving precision, accuracy, and clarity on how a camel survives the desert. Here's what I got. And I used the process. I made a poem. Let us listen to it. So we have to make sense of it. Do a research. When I did, I gained depth and breadth and relevance on how I am going through the pandemic devastation. It is like surviving in the large, extremely dry area of land with sparse vegetation. And it is discovering the enormous capacity, the tremendous capacity of the camel. The tool is merging the imaginal method by Boyd and the intellectual standards and virtues by Paul and Elder. The intent here is to deepen a sense of wholeness by paradoxically differentiating, naming, and elaborating all the different selves that make up who we are as persons. Engaging in dialogue with these structures is a way of consciously participating in the process of individuation. This process, referred to as the imaginal method, reflects a general collection of strategies useful in fostering learners' insight into those aspects of themselves and their worlds that remain hidden from conscious awareness, yet serve to influence and shape their sense of self, interpretations of their external world, and their day-to-day actions. Here are the steps. Cite an image and describe it clearly. Imagine and make sense of it. Check your assumptions. What are the facts and information? This part will achieve clarity and precision. Number 2, associate the image with aspects of your life. Connect. Gain new perspectives of becoming. 3, amplify the image by creating a story or a poem. Write it. Make a poetry. Develop and affirm your being on how this metaphor has helped you. What new concepts have you derived? Animate the image by allowing it to be expressed in the language you are most comfortable with. In that way that you can easily convey it creatively. When I got back to my teaching, I enabled my students to choose to imagine a metaphor they would like to embody and discover. I am sunset. I am an ordinary clock. I am water. I am a glass. I'm an old photograph. I'm an ordinary stone. I am light. I am an old book. I am sunset. I am a cell phone. I am an umbrella. I am a candle. I am a diamond. I am clouds. I am sunrise. I am a laptop. I am a seesaw. I am a bonobo. I am the scholar in the Middle Ages. I am clouds that fog my thoughts, but I am also the sun that shines them away. Notice this change of metaphor. His explanation was, using the foggy mind means I'm struggling to think straight. It's analogous to trying to see something, but being unable to see it. Like the situation we're all facing, pandemic, mental health, physical health, financial crisis, online classes, etc. Having a foggy mind, I can't think, focus. I lack vision to see the solution of something I need to work on. But through this time of the pandemic, losing consciousness is a loss. Being clouded doesn't help me conquer my weaknesses. I make up my mind to be a sun that shines through the darkest days and remove the fogs in my eyes, brain, and attitude. I am an olive-backed sunbird. Out from the seemingly void, no value dried leaves and grass and twigs and cobwebs. I can build a strong refuge. Before I end, I wish to highlight one of my duties to my nestlings, my diaper duty. One of my most unique, understudied, and underappreciated behavior. Fecal sacs are bird diapers, said Benji Jones. Baby birds poop a lot. A nestling turns its rear end to eject a floppy white bag of poop encased in mucus, a fecal sac. Slowly again. A nestling turns around to eject a floppy white bag of poop, a fecal sac. Like changing a diaper. Then the parent flies away to dispose it. Fecal sacs, which only nestlings produce, are common among species that require around-the-clock parental care at birth. With limited research studies, evidence suggests that fecal sacs have a number of uses. Murphy, a biologist at Portland State University, and Ibanez Alamo, an ecologist at the University of Groningen, both into fecal sac studies, provided some potential benefits. Number 1, by keeping the nest clean, to keep the nestlings healthy, isolating them from potentially dangerous bacteria or microorganisms. By recycling a nutritional snack. That's the second, because nestling poop serves as a nutritional treat, says Ibanez Alamo. There is still energy and nutrients available in those sacs. The third is to prevent detection by predators. Poop-free nests are less noticeable by predators. Just like monitoring my criticality. It needs around-the-clock parental care, around-the-clock monitoring. New metaphors with critical thinking have the power to create a new reality. This can happen when we start to comprehend our experience in terms of a metaphor with clarity and depth and relevance, and it becomes a deeper reality when we begin to act in terms of it. To transcend is to build my strong refuge, lay my eggs, and hatch them. Care for and nurture my nestlings, feed them, fly away and dispose fecal sacs if needed, so any predator would never come near. We can transcend any adversity. We can build our safe space, get nurtured and grow again. And when the time is right, all strengths renewed, we are ready to fly. Thank you and have a great day, everyone. Salamat po.